too much detail over this. I mean, you all know Namco. Namco's made a lot of great arcade games, so making a game with all of them brought in together was genius. And that was also great. I mean, you could play all the games which your parents grew up with or which you might have grown up with, and you can play them all as much as you want. No quarters needed. I mean, there are games within that you can even unlock, such as I think Pack Attack, Pac-Mania, and some other games. And yeah, like I said, there's not much need to explain here. It's just all the great Namco games brought into one game for PS2, Xbox, and the GameCube. So yeah, definitely try that one out. My personal favorite is Rolling Thunder. Out of all of the Final Fantasy games, I think a lot of people would agree that the original ones were most likely the best. And yeah, they had great storylines, they had memorable cast characters, and also the music. Personally speaking, I think Final Fantasy 4 or 2 when it was first released was it is personally my favorite Final Fantasy game. I mean, it had a great storyline, a character who was serving a king, and he felt guilty for what he was doing, and then later on he's been temporarily, well, I don't want to say banished. No, he was removed from his post because he started to defy the king's orders. So then eventually you meet up with some other characters, and it's sort of a redemption story because you're a dark knight, and then eventually, you decide to no longer, and you want to join the light. And so I mean, that was a great story, and it had very good gameplay mechanics. The music also was, like I said, is one of the best aspects of it because the soundtrack was awesome, and in fact, the trailer for Final Fantasy IV on the DS, that's really what brought me into Final Fantasy because before I wasn't really captivated by turn-based games. I mean, I feel like everything should be happening then and now. We shouldn't be taking turns fighting. I mean, it's not like it's chess or checkers. But yeah, and then I thought, well, this is actually pretty good. I mean, it looks great, and so yeah, definitely give that one a try because people talk about the Final Fantasy games, but they don't really talk about the remakes. I mean, I think 4 is a great way for people who haven't played play it when it first came out, and give them a try. And also, if you want to relive it with also new cutscenes and voice acting, not that all of the voice acting was good or anything, but yeah, I thought it was decent enough. But one of the best parts of the Star Wars franchise, in my opinion, was the special ship fights, all the battles that occurred between both sides of both armies and stuff. And I think that Rogue Squadron did a great job personifying it, showing how it happens and stuff. I mean, it was great being able to pilot all the ships, go on those missions, shooting down the Empire ships and stuff. And, it also got challenging. I mean, also, sometimes I wish you were actually able to select which ship you wanted to pilot for the mission instead of having to specifically pick this ship when you wanted to choose something else. Like, sometimes I wanted to use the X-Wing, but I had to use the V-Wing or vice versa or something like that. But still, I mean, it was a good game. One of the problems, though, I felt was they didn't exactly tell you some stuff. Well, it's just one thing that I had a problem with was the fact that when it came when the time came for you to use the speeder, they didn't tell you how to properly use the tow cable. I mean, I hit the tow cable button, but I didn't know you're supposed to hold the thing down while you were going around the AT-ATs. Uh, and so that just really got me messed up, and I lost the mission because of that. But other than that, it was a very good game, And, Battlefront was good. Knights of the Old Republic, that looked good. But Rogue Squadron was one of my favorites. What made GoldenEye so popular? What made it so special? Multiplayer. And again, that's what makes 007 From Russia with Love so special too. Now, I mean, the storyline for that one was good. I mean, it was well adapted to the movie, and it had special stuff, which made me actually want to see the movie. I was kind of disappointed on some end. Spoiler alert: the giant robot fight scene near the end. But really, multiplayer was where it was at with that one. I mean, you could all the different locations, all the special traps you could set, like in the maze scene, you could burn down people. You could launch a nuclear missile at one place. That was actually my favorite location. But yeah, going about, with a friend at each other, and just going around. I mean, you also had different stuff. You even had jetpacks at one point too, and you could also ride in vehicles such as tanks and stuff, or really small tanks, I should say. But that was great. And it's not first person, but it's a good game still. I mean, give it a try. Before Batman Arkham Asylum, there weren't really many Batman games that really stood out. I mean, a lot of them were okay, but they weren't really great. One of the worst being Batman Dark Tomorrow. But before all that, there actually was one Batman game that actually was awesome, and that was Batman and Robin. Well, The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo. I know there was one for the Sega Genesis, but I haven't played that one, so I can't really speak on that. I hear that's great. Some people say it's better, but like I said, I haven't played that, so I wouldn't know. But for the Super Nintendo, it was definitely awesome. It stayed close to the script and story of the TV series, and it had some of the music from it as well. Uh, Definitely fun, going around being villains and also using some of Batman's gadgets, and you almost sort of felt like you were watching the TV. I mean, the animation was very close to the style of the TV series, and you know, it was awesome. I mean, nothing. There wasn't a Batman game like that until Arkham Asylum. So that's all for today. Tell me what games you think were underrated and people don't really speak much about them. Let me know in the comments below. And if you actually like some of this stuff, then hit the subscribe button and you'll get more videos later on. Until next time, see you later.